Hello students, today I'll discuss the program 1. So program 1 is to create a student database with the following details: USN, name, branch and phone number. So using a Java program, now I'm using NetBeans to write my Java program. So here this I have a student class with following attributes. First one is USN, name, branch and phone number. And two member functions I have. One is insert record and one more is display record. The insert record is used to insert the values inside the variables USN, name, branch and phone number. And the display record member function is used to display the details of individual students USN, name, branch and phone number. Now here is a class named as students. These are the class attributes, and this is the first member function and this is the second member function. Now this class has there is a main program, and now to access the member functions you need to create the object of the class. So before creating the object, I'm going to declare an array of size 100. Okay, now this variable s, which is of type student. Okay, now you will have several data types like integer, character, float, like that, but here I'm going to declare this array variable as student. And you know what attributes student has? It can take USN, name, branch and phone number. USN is of type string, similarly name and branch, and phone is of type long. So I am declaring this array named S as student. Okay, now the next step, I'm telling the user to enter the number of student. So I will store it in N. Now here SC is a scanner variable. So scanner is a inbuilt function which is used to take input from the keyboard, and using that scanner variable SC, I'm going to take the number of students input and I will store it in the variable N. Next, suppose if depending upon the value of N, you are going to use a for loop and access the student class. Okay, now this SI, what is this SI? Suppose if you have two students details that has to be created, then two class instance are being created. One is S of 0 and one more is S of 1. So S of 0 will be having the USN, name, branch and phone number of the first student, and S of 1 will be having the USN, name, branch and phone number of the second student. Okay, so using this class object, what you're supposed to do is you're calling the two member functions of the class. See here, the two member functions of the class are, one is insert record and one more is display record. But to call the member function, you need the object of that class. So object I have created here. Okay, using that object, I'm going to insert the student details as well as display the student details. But before doing that, actually we want the student details. So we are using a for loop, and if you want to enter two students or three student details, depending upon the value of N, what you should do first is take the inputs. So first take the USN, next take the name, next take the branch, and next take the phone number. After taking all these details, what you do is, using this object of the class, you call the member function insert record with the following parameters, and this details will get stored into the class variables USN, name, branch and phone number. After storing the details in the class variables, what you do is you are going to display the student details. Similar way, you use the object of the class and call the member function display record, which goes here, and it will display the student details. And these two things should be put inside a for loop, and that for loop starts from 0 and it ends at n. So if you have given the n value as 3, 3 students details will be taken, stored in the class variable student and also displayed. Okay, so this is the first program. So I'll execute the program and show how it works. So I'll take one student here. So I'll give the USN as then name as branch as ISE, phone number, you can give your phone number. And now here what you are seeing is the first student detail is being printed. It's his USN, name, branch and phone number. Similar way, if the total number of students are two students details will be taken and be printed. So this is your first program. Okay, and I'll show you the output. See, enter the number of students. I have taken one student and we have to enter his USN, name, branch and phone number, and these data will be stored in the class variables, and using the insert record, these details will be stored in the variables USN, name, branch and phone number, and using the member function display record we are going to print it. Okay, this is the first program. Now in your syllabus, 1A is student details and 1B is stack operation. So your program 1 has two programs, that is student details as well as stack operation. Now going to stack operation. So now stack has three operations which has to be implemented. The first one is push operation, the second one is pop operation, and the third one is display. And you know how the stack works, the first in last out, okay, or the last in first out method. So keeping that in mind, so here I have declared a variable max, which is the size of the stack. So I have declared a array and initializing it to max, and I have one more variable top that I have initialized to -1. If your top variable is -1, then the stack is empty. Okay, and when you insert element into the stack, you go on incrementing the top variable, and when you pop out element from the stack, you go on decreasing the top variable. Now here I have a class named as stack. These are the class variables, and the class has three member function. One is push, one more is pop, and one more is display. Three member function it has, and it has a main function. And first, before going to the main function, I'll explain these three member functions. So the push operation works like this. So if your value of top is greater than maximum -1, then already your stack is full, so you cannot insert more element. So you print stack overflow, otherwise you go insert the new element. Coming to the pop, if your stack variable top is equal to -1, then there is no element in the stack, then you cannot pop any elements, so you print stack underflow. Otherwise you go pop the topmost element. And the display function, if top is equal to -1, similar way it tells the stack is empty. Otherwise, starting from the topmost element till the bottommost element, the stack is being printed. So that is the display function. Now coming to the main function. So here now you have to access this member functions of the class. So you can access the member function by only using the object of the class. So here M is the object of the class, a new instance of the class is been created in this line. After that, you are going to perform the stack operation, and this there is a while loop here which will keep on repeating till you press 0. Okay, till you press 0, this while loop will be keep on repeating. And inside this while loop, I have a switch case. So that switch case will take the options 1 for push, 2 for pop, and 3 for display. Okay, now the case 1 is you take the element and you call the push operation. So you take the element which has to be pushed into the stack and you call the operation member function push. So you want to call the member function push, you can call it only by using it object. So m dot push, and the parameter what you are sending is the element. Afterwards break. The second case is pop operation. So if you want to pop, again you call the pop member function using the object, and afterwards, after popping out the element, you print the element that has been popped out. And finally, the last one, the display operation. If you want to display the stack elements, you just call the member function display using the object, and then you display your stack elements. Finally, you keep on repeating this operation. Finally, if you want to quit, you give the value of q as 0. And when the value of q is 0, the while loop will fail and come out of the loop. Okay, now I'll show you the execution of this program. Okay, I'll show you the execution of this program. So first I'm trying to push an element into the stack. So I give the option as 1, and I have to enter the element that has to be pushed. So I enter the 10. Okay, now I'll just display, I'll use a third option. I'll go for third option and I'll try to display the stack elements. So you can see the elements in the stack are 10. Okay, now again I'll try to put one more element. The second element I'll give it as 15 and I'll display it. So the two elements are 10 and 15, and you see 15 is the topmost element. Okay, now if I try to pop out, the element popped out is 15. As you see, the topmost element is popped out. And now I'll use the display function. There is only one element remaining in the stack, that is 10. Now again I use the pop operation. The element popped out is 10. Now suppose if I again use pop operation, it will tell the stack is underfull, means the stack is empty. And if you use the display operation, again it will say the stack is empty. Stack is empty. So now if you want to stop, you can press q value as 0. You can give q value as 0. That will stop the program. Okay. So now this is your program 1A and 1B. Okay, students. Now in the next class, I'll be teaching you program 2.